You know, sometimes people think of these crustose lichens on a granitic rock as lichens growing in toward each other, having a little battle over who can overgrow the other one. It's like a slow motion battlefield.
Like two totally different types.
Two different species kind of trying to grow over each other.
What
Usually, one has an advantage. The
what
advantage is either faster growing or a chemical advantage. And lichens have over 1,000 chemicals that they produce that are unique to lichens. And they only produce those unique lichen acids, they're called, when they're in the lichenized state. People have taken the two organisms and separated them and grown them on agar or whatever, or in liquid medium, and they will not produce those chemicals. They only produce the chemicals as a unit.
when you look at those thousand things they can produce in symbiosis, what what are some of the more unique ones you think that stand out, or the interesting ones for people that they wouldn't assume?
Well, I think that the one outstanding one is one that's very common, which is causes a light green or yellow green color, and that's the usnic acid, which was used as an antibiotic before penicillin. The other groups of chemicals we don't always know a lot about because some of the people who study them uh, consider that information trade secrets, and they're usually financed by paint companies. So there's a fair amount of lichen acids that are added to paint to make the paint last longer. And we don't really know what some of those chemicals are. They're kind of trade secrets.
Is that something you could farm? Like, could you, if you were after that, or they have to wild harvest that?
We don't really know because the chemical companies that deal with it, they probably figure it out, isolate it, and then they might make it artificially, which is what we tend to do in chemistry nowadays. But to discover them, it seems like a lot of the paint companies hire lichenologists and are always doing experiments, paying to get certain species of lichens to study. So it's got to be a somewhat lucrative industry if they're willing to buy these things.
You had to suppose, knowing what you know about the organism, what do you think those chemicals are providing to the species?
I'm suspect in the case of the paint that they're just some sort of sun blocking organisms, that pigments that help deal with UV light. But I'm not sure. And there's a growing field of medicine looking at all kinds of endemic plants and lichens.